What's up, you guys? This is a 1 year update on my SSR Lazer 6 and probably the final version of this bike. I'm going to go over all the changes I made and some things that I found out along the way. And yeah, let's just start from the top going down. Replace the mirrors. I think that's pretty essential. The stock ones vibrate a lot and sort of shift. So that's a pretty inexpensive upgrade. It's necessary. I put a phone mount right there in the front so you can track the miles per hour. There is a gauge, but it's just a tiny bit off. So yeah, phone mount. Did the decals, removed the stock SSR Lazer 6 decal and put a new decal on there. This is the big one. It's a new fully automatic X Pro 125cc engine and a 22 millimeter carburetor. So that's been the biggest upgrade. And one of the things that I found out was if you do upgrade your motor, the stock exhaust is going to have issues because when you mount it, it won't line up. And I did mount it several different ways, and still the exhaust broke off, and the exhaust manifold bolts broke, and I had to replace this head because the studs were, I think they Loctite them in there. They're in there good. And I was going to do a big bore kit and realized that a lot of the big bore kits, the difference is going to be rather small, maybe 12 cc's of difference. And the original cylinder body was just working quite well, and decided to keep it. It was polished and broken in. Moving on to here, I noticed that the clutch was having issues around 20 miles per hour, and I took it to several mechanics, and this is before I even thought it was a clutch. It was just shaking the bike a lot, and it was actually the clutch. I opened it up, removed the clutch, and if you ever want to replace the clutch, make sure you get the exact same kind. It's 17 tooth, but a lot of them have a different faceplate that's not compatible with how to adjust this clutch. So look for the clutches that have 3 screws on the faceplate and a spring, and that's how you adjust it. So yeah, just adjust this clutch. It's pretty easy. You loosen this nut right there, and then you tune it by turning the screw counterclockwise until it catches, and then turn it back an eighth of a turn, and then set it. And since then, the bike has been running just really smooth. So that's been great. I put this new exhaust on here. This goes on a Honda Cub or some of those smaller Honda bikes. And if you do that, you'll have to sort of figure out how to support it. So I put a Z bracket. That Z bracket will go on the bottom where your foot pegs, your foot peg bracket goes on. So that's a Z bracket. Not sure if you can see that. Remove the pedals. So I can always just pop them on if I need to. Still a Moped. Installed a rear bike rack functioning as a rear bag. Let's see, what else? Oh yeah, so I put a new 16 tooth front sprocket on there, which really increases the top end speed. But if you do that, you'll have to get a longer chain. So there's a 428 chain that's behind that chain guard. One thing that you'll notice though, if you do get a bigger sprocket and you do put a longer 428 chain, this bike chain is going to be way too tight. So I was having problems with lining the rear tire. So I had to put a longer bicycle chain on there, and now the rear tire is perfectly aligned. There's going to be a grinding noise. If you keep the stock bike chain on there, it's going to pull the bike sprocket, and it's going to rub against just all those internal bearings. So I had a grinding noise. I didn't know what it was from. I thought it was the new chain and the misaligned wheel, and it kind of was, but it was really this bike chain is too tight. But make sure to get a new bike chain if you do get a bigger 428 motorcycle chain. I think that's it. This has been a really solid bike all around. I love riding it. You know, I just put around town, take it to work and whatnot, and been really dependable. I also replaced the battery with the new 4 lithium battery. That's been helping a lot. I recommend you do that. I didn't have to charge it during the winter time. It just lasted the whole winter and still going strong. So yeah, this is the 1 year update. Stay tuned for another SSR Lazer 5 video. I love these lasers and ended up building a Lazer 5 into a cafe racer, so check out that video.